everybody. I thought it would only be appropriate because it's April to talk about Venus and Aries. So Venus is represents love, art, beauty, the way we relate to people and the type of relationships we have to others. Aries is all about, conquering. Aries is a fire sign, so it's about shocking, it's about, impulsiveness, spur of the moment. Aries is like a warrior, so they love inspiration, they love strength. For people who have Venus in Aries, usually love begins at a quicker pace. I think I talked a little bit about this in my Sun in Aries video. Since Aries is a very aggressive, very masculine type of energy, women who were born with Venus in Aries might like this in a partner. The men very macho, very manly or masculine. They like people who are very direct. Venus is the planet of we. It's a dual type of thing. It's you and me, it's togetherness. But Aries is all about individualism. This is combined. Sometimes love can seem very one-sided. The energy can be all about excitement. The butterflies you feel when you first like somebody, they live for the excitement. It's almost like getting high from crushing on somebody. They're in love with the chase, if you will. It's like fire is burnt out. They lose their attraction towards somebody when the other person falls short of their standard of excitement. Women, they usually like aggressiveness. If the men fall short according to the woman's manly standard, she can think that she's with the wrong person because they leave before they look. So they don't really think about what they want, they usually just go for it. It's funny because these women may not actually attract masculine men, even though that's what they want. They attract gentler, passive men because these women actually take up a lot of masculine qualities themselves. It's not that these women look, manly. It's just because the woman takes up more masculine attributes. For example, these women, they may not like to be treated like delicate flowers. Carry their own luggage, open their own doors. They're very independent, They don't want to be served in that way because they feel comfortable doing everything themselves. They own their own companies. They can bring this into relationships, and sometimes what happens is men won't know exactly what to provide for you. Men may not provide what you already provide for yourself. I guess it's women, they see certain gestures as somebody feeling bad for them, kind of taking away his power in a way. I know power is like a big thing with Venus and Aries. A woman might she doesn't mind going Dutch, she doesn't mind doing everything on her own. But unfortunately sometimes the man doesn't know how to express his affection because she kind of does everything herself. Kind of inhibits him from doing things for her. They have to practice equality. I'm pretty sure a lot of Venus and Aries women probably know this independence can kind of create some dissatisfaction in relationships. Venus and Aries women should know that it's not weakness to be served or treated like a princess. Your partner may not be doing these things because they think you're weak or dumb or incompetent or baby. The men do these things, or your partner will do these things for you because they want to show you they care. Don't feel that men doing things for you symbolizes a dependency or neediness on your part. Venus and Aries women, even if it is subconscious, they kind of do like dominating others, whether socially or intimately. Some men might like a dominating woman in certain areas of their life, but Venus and Aries women are subconsciously looking for someone more willing to bend, somebody who will give in to them, someone to be controlled. Lord knows, Venus and Aries wears the pants. They never let you forget it. This is because they think they're number one. This energy, it can either bring you people who you want to dominate, or it brings you people who dominate you. Of course, depending on your chart and aspects, it will actually show you how a relationship will play out in your life, but generally this is the energy for Venus and Aries. Because Aries is very action-oriented, it's healthier to do something active with your partner because, whether that be hiking or running, or it doesn't have to be sporty, but you should be doing something active with your partner, because what happens is when your energy is not taken out in these healthy ways in the relationship, you might have more arguments. Women who have Venus and Aries, they have no resistance to disagreeing with their partner. They'll be the last to agree to something that they're not all for. It's not that they dislike their partner, but they don't know how to fake it. They'd rather be blunt and honest than compromising. They actually value honesty much more than equality. Women with Venus and Aries have this inclination to kind of taunt their partner, they kind of like to poke fun at someone that they like and bring this, not mean, but I guess sarcastic tone to the relationship. And if you think about it, men do this all the time. A sporting event or bars, like, you know, with their friends, they usually joke. They'll poke fun at each other. That's how they show each other that, you know, you're my friend. They joke. Because Venus and Aries usually like masculine qualities, I would say that women have Venus and Aries. If you want somebody who is aggressive type, you kind of have to tone it down just a bit, just a bit, because they will feel like you're dominating them. When you do bring like a joking, sarcastic tone all the time, like the way their buddies would, it's not necessarily seen as a desirable quality that masculine men look for. You know, you don't want to be seen as one of the guys. It's important to know how other people are perceiving it. Even if it's a joke for you, how are other people taking it, so that, you know, we don't intimidate or scare people away. For girls, their Venus shows how they flirt. When Venus is in Aries, they can be out there, confident. They have no problem, you know, approaching somebody first. If it was more acceptable, socially acceptable in society, they'd probably be the first ones to propose. They take on that initiative role. This is a cardinal sign. I mean, I'm sure they're a bit nervous, but it looks like they're more comfortable saying, like, you know what, I only have this one shot right now, let me do it. You know, because it is of the impulse. They flirt by showing how suggestive they are. All the tricks in the book, all the most obvious tricks, probably do something where they walk out of a room, they turn back, they could wink at their partner and then walk out, or they bite their lip or something. Like, they're very overt. Being forward is not foreign for this sign. They're almost sending this message like, look how hot I am for you, so you better be for me. You will know exactly where you stand with a woman with Venus and Aries. This is not a confused person at all. They know exactly what they want, where they want to go, what they want for their life, you know. They'll tell you. I guess whether you ask or not. They know, they have ideas, they know their goals and ambitions. They usually don't budge or change them. They might change them if there's enough reason for them to change them, but usually that comes from within. Like, nobody can convince them, you should change this, because this is a bit unrealistic. A lot of women say that they don't play games, but secretly they like drama. No, not this. Because a woman with Venus and Aries usually will just not tolerate drama. She lets her intentions be very clear because of her very direct nature. Because they're so honest about, you know, their dreams, their visions, all that, this and that, it's insulting when you don't believe them or call BS on what they do. This is one of the quickest ways to lose their interest. They might leave. I mean, they might smash you in the face first, but they'll leave eventually by not believing them. Basically, you're telling them, I don't respect what you say and I don't value honesty. That's how they see it. A Venus and Aries woman, they're very affectionate and they're very loving people. They love really hard. They might love to the point where they might suffocate. They love extra hard, they hug extra hard, they kiss extra hard. Everything is a little extra when they're so dedicated. You know, they may take a lot of pictures of their significant other. They may put it online for everybody to see. I like to show off or kind of brag about this other person in her life. These women they're not shy about PDA or anything. And if you express your disgust or that you don't like it, they'll gladly tell you, well then don't look. They're not going to stop doing what they want. If it does piss somebody off, it actually kind of fuels them to do it more, just to be defiant a little bit. Because see, they're being themselves, and if they're inhibited in some way, they'll just keep doing it more. And it might actually excite them that you get mad. This is usually the attitude they have towards opposition. Now, men with Venus and Aries. For men, Venus represents the energy that they attract or are attracted to. So men with Venus and Aries will like somebody who's honest, who's blunt, who's direct, you know, a little bit feisty. They may like women who don't really give a damn about whether or not, you know, he's in her life. They fight harder. It makes them fight harder. A woman who doesn't really make him the center of her universe. Somebody who they don't have to, like, baby. Like, they know that she can handle everything on her own. But because they know that, it might make them want to do everything for her, because she's not necessarily showing like, oh, I need help. These men who have Venus and Aries like a woman who calls them out on their BS, because it makes them feel grounded. It lets them know that, okay, she's always going to be real. This lets them know that she's not someone who's going to, lie in fear of hurting someone's feelings. So men who have Venus in Aries might actually have a woman who, like, will push them to do bigger things in their life. It's almost like they have a cheerleader with them, especially when it comes to fighting or strength. They're like completely with you. Aries is always about motivating the underdog. It's always about, making you want to accomplish more because they accomplish a lot. Venus in Aries is also all about fighting. Sometimes a healthy way, but it's all about fighting. Say a man with Venus in Aries receiving some type of injustice from work or a friend or something. His woman, she might fight for him. His women are very protective of their significant other. His women will already hate that other person who's trying to hurt her partner. They hate who you hate. They're on your side. Say a man has a business type of function and he brings his woman over there with him, and if there's somebody in the room that treated him a certain way, she's just like, she doesn't hide it. She'll let you know she hates you. The women that they attract, they will never fake diplomacy for the sake of social gathering. And as funny as it is, this is her way of supporting you. Men who have Venus in Aries can actually, they can sort of fall in love at first sight. It's like the chase, excitement, like, oh. I guess maturity has a lot to play with this, but initially they can kind of get bored once the chase is over. It's just a maturity thing, but that's usually initially the energy that's there. They might think, oh, this isn't as fun as I thought it would be, because they leap before they look. You just have to find new ways of sustaining excitement in the existing relationship, not necessarily jumping from girl to girl or relationship to relationship to relationship because this one was bored, and have variety in the relationship itself than having variety elsewhere. Men with Venus and Aries don't want a partner who's overwhelming of their affection, smothers them, but the interesting thing is the men who have Venus and Aries will like to smother and overwhelm their partner. Men with Venus and Aries can be very childlike. They can, they're like little children because they're very spur of the moment. So they like to be really fun and playful. Nothing is so, oh, let's just sit here and talk about like the dark stuff in the world. You won't see them sitting at a table, sipping a cup of tea and talking about politics. It's just, they would rather be doing something fun. Very enthusiastic in relationships. They can, be very optimistic. But one thing, again, one challenge would just be not to be so self-centered. These people who have Venus in Aries, they usually don't think of others and other people's feelings. This is not a compromising sign. It's not that they're being mean, it just doesn't cross their mind to be thinking of others first. They always put themselves first. They almost have to train themselves to think of others first, because this is not their energy naturally. They have to enforce themselves to, I guess sometimes praise others and be happy for others. They can feel a little bit weird saying good job to another person when they actually don't give a damn about it. It's a give and take, so they learn this over time. The main reason that they don't always praise others is because they're always trying to one-up somebody. They feel like if somebody does something good, an Aries, a person with Venus in Aries might think, oh, I gotta be better than them. And it's just the competitive nature where they think, well, I want to be like too, so I gotta be better. Egos can be involved in relationships. For people who have Venus in Aries, it can be almost cringing for them to be happy for others and be celebratory of others, but learn to do this because it will benefit you, because otherwise you'll always feel like you have to fight with somebody. But all in all, this is a very affectionate sign. It's a very strong sign, so you have to you have to know who you are, what you want. They're very direct, they're very passionate, can be a little bit competitive and somewhat self-centered, but they're always honest, and they always show their honesty through their actions. So that was my analysis for Venus in Aries. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.